Good morning, you three. Yes, I know you're excited to see the test results of our Teramax experiment, but let me fire up the computer first and get our camera rolling. Good morning, everyone. In my previous video with Dusty Go-Goat, we discussed the concept of Teramax Pokemon forms, and we showed off 3 examples of what these new forms could look like. I'll link to that video in the description if you want to take a look. A lot of you loved that theory, and some of you also suggested that I run Teramax simulations for the Paldean starter Pokemon. So, that's what we're doing today. To recap, many unusual Pokemon phenomenon, such as Z-Rings, Dynamaxing, and Mega Evolution, require 2 components to work. I theorized that the Terastal phenomenon was underpowered due to having only one of these components to craft the Terra Orbs. Therefore, if we could instead pair these Terra Crystals with a hexagonal shard from the mystery Pokemon of Area 0, it could unlock even more power and maybe even new forms. For each form simulation, the Pokemon's types will be replaced by 2 completely different types, which help then inform their design. These forms are not designed explicitly to make them stronger, but instead to explore what alternative types could look like while keeping their essence and theme. So let's delve into Teramaxing the Paldean starters. The water starter Quaxley evolves into Quaxwell and then into Quaquaval. Quaquaval has a flair for keeping its feathers tidy and clean, moving about the battlefield with rhythm and motion. It is themed around a dancer, and according to the Pokédex, its moves imitate dancers from far-off lands. A fun Pokemon, and with the help of our DNA simulator, we get Teramax Quaquaval, an electric and steel type. Teramax Quaquaval is no different in personality, but now embodies the energetic flamenco dancing of the Paldea region. For the type combo, the electric typing emulates the immense energy of Teramax Quaquaval being capable of dancing effortlessly for hours on end, whereas the steel typing comes from the metal plates that are magnetically attracted to its electrical currents. Teramax Quaquaval can reflect the sun off of these plates to blind opponents, or fling them as an attack before magnetically retrieving them. Creating this Teramax form for Quaquaval was a lot of fun. I knew I wanted to keep the dancing theme of Quaquaval, and was inspired by the motion and energy of the Spanish flamenco dancers, but I veered away from the traditional dresses, instead using bright electric yellow and replacing the ruffles with rows of metallic plates. Our next simulation is Skeledirge, the final evolution of Fuecoco and Crocodile. The Skeledirge line has a very unique aesthetic, with skull-coloured patterns adorning its head and design aspects of Paldean singers, and a fire spirit that sits atop the tip of its snout. The Pokédex describes Skeledirge's gentle singing as soothing the souls of everyone who hears it. A Pokemon with a fiery personality, until we look at Teramax Skeledirge, a dark and ice type. Teramax Skeledirge takes this singing skull theme and adds a lot more drama. Its dark type reflects the deep emotional journeys of the opera, its mournful singing echoes across the land, and its warm personality gives way to the ice type, embodying the disillusioned icy demeanour of a soul's rejected love. Because Skeledirge is a singer, I knew I wanted to keep the singing theme for Teramax Skeledirge. My first thoughts went to the Phantom of the Opera, deep emotional singing, and a half-white mask which already fits Skeledirge's skull design. I also gave it the ice type as I felt it paired well for the dramatic and sad story of this opera. I haven't forgotten about you, Sprigs. For our last Teramax simulation today, we have Meowscarada, the evolved form of Sprigatito and Florigato. The Meowscarada line utilizes their dark typing of trickery and sleight of hand to entertain others as a magician or illusionist. The Pokédex describes how even its cape contains a reflective fur lining to give the illusion that its flower is floating. This Pokemon dons the cape of mystery and magic, before changing into Teramax Meowscarada, a psychic and fairy type. In this form, Meowscarada takes the magician concept to another level. With its combination of psychic and fairy magic, Teramax Meowscarada can now dazzle and distract opponents on a large scale, with now 5 fairy floating flower hands, which can be used for grabbing, distracting, or attacking. Teramax Meowscarada's type combo idea came directly from Drifthound87 commenting on our last video. Taking Meowscarada's colour palette to almost the opposite spectrum of colour and brightness was a fun challenge. I wanted to keep the magician theme, so I altered the cape into a coat and the neck flower to a bow tie to reference the stereotypical magicians. I also added the psychic gem to represent the third eye, and subtly changing its hair direction to give a slight impression of psychic weightlessness. Lastly, I added 5 glowing, floating flower tails to look like fairy sprites floating around it. What do you think of these ideas for Teramax Quaquaval, Skeledirge, and Meowscarada? Let me know in the comments below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe to see my upcoming theory and research videos. And until next time, have an amazing Pokemon journey. No Quaxley, a Thunderstone won't make you Teramax. Come on you lot, out to the gardens, it's feeding time.